hide the product placement.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have drinks in this place that we're not allowed to have drinks in.
Oh, they see coffee every week.
I don't think they do. They do. Hi guys, welcome back
To the Student Talk Podcast.
I just let him do it this time because I give up trying to synchronize ourselves. This week we have a guest. Clap. We have one of our lecturers from our creative modules, which we have mentioned a lot of times throughout this series. This is Kev Bradshaw, and he makes lectures very interesting, and he's a great lecturer. And I actually haven't prepared an introduction. I didn't prepare one for Sherry either, but...
He is the reason we're sat in this room.
Yes, he is
Oh,
the reason.
bless you. That's very nice of you to
We're
say.
sat in this room. He is the reason why we have the opportunity to do this and why we are on your screens. So, give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
How are you? How have you been, Kev? We haven't seen you in ages.
It's been a while, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. You go through those moments where we see each other all the time, and then obviously once you guys finish your second module with me in the second year, that's kind of we don't really see each other much, do we anymore? So, apart from that, no, I'm doing all right, thank you. On the back end of this cold, but it's just going around, which we spoke about.
Debrief.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just.
That just moved.
That just moved by itself. How weird's that?
Oh.
Is that like a Jedi mind trick, or was there like a ghost or something in there?
Yeah, very much.
Because I'm glad you saw that as well. I didn't know if that was just me.
No, I saw it happen. I think they're haunted. I think something's wrong with them. Something's up with them.
It should be a Halloween episode.
It should be.
Yeah.
First episode we did though, this dropped.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Whoever
I
did
mean,
that.
you are more than welcome to move it, but if it does drop, you'll have to hold it.
I think it's quite happy where it is right now.
Can you hear him all right?
Yeah.
Good, great. Then we'll just leave it.
We'll just leave it. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. No, my week's been good. We're on the cusp of Easter.
Yes,
There's only a number of weeks left, which is but hopefully there's lots of chocolate to come in the next few weeks. But yeah, I suppose it's just kind of getting ready for the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Really.
It's always kind of sad.
How about you guys? How you guys been?
I've been to Romania and then I got a cold. That's why I wasn't here last week. A really bad cold. Because I don't usually like to miss stuff. If I can function, I can function. I couldn't really. But it's all good now. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm happy. I'm speaking. I'm fine. So Romania was exciting. It was fun. It was nice. I went because I had to go to the dentist, got that solved, got some blood tests done, enjoyed seeing my friends, my family, my boyfriend and everyone. It was great. And then I come back and a cold hits me and it's heaven on earth. So other than that, it's all good.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Pretty boring, actually. I don't actually know anything I've done this week.
What about last week before? I haven't seen you in like the past 2 weeks. Like
you
not
caught a
in
cold?
this context.
You joined the club.
I had a cold, and then I gave it to one of my housemates, and then he gave it to another one of my housemates who went home, and then came back and got another one from her dad, and then gave that one back to me.
Oh, very generous.
Oh,
So,
God.
Yeah.
So you are full of cold.
Yeah, but I'm fine.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Hopefully, as long as we're all better, we're ready for Easter break.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be good.
Hopefully it all goes away.
Hopefully so. Yeah, definitely.
Because we're all very ill.
Yeah, we're all coughing slightly. So, excuse us. So, we have questions for you.
Okay, here we go.
We have questions for you. And we are very excited to find out about... well, you've seen the questions. I
can't remember them. I can remember
Good.
maybe a couple of them, but
Good, because we're going to get your honest and raw answers. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, we're just going from
the top.
Okay, cool. So, question number one. What did you study before you started marketing?
Filmmaking.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was always very creative, even as a kid, and always been into films. why I would bore you guys in class and stuff with either soundtracks or you've got to go watch this film, you should watch this film. So through like school and college, I was always like really interested in that, and I managed to have an opportunity to go to film school in Prague, and that kind of set me on that path there. And then when I came back, I did some work in the industry, and then I did a degree here at Portsmouth University, which was great. And that got me some more work. So that's kind of what I did before I got into like where I am right now. But obviously, as you say, it makes sense, doesn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
all of my resources and stuff I have in teaching has some kind of film-related element to
Yes.
it. Yes.
I always found your stories entertaining, so that's why I was like, "Come on, say them on the podcast."
What-
Well, that's it. But a
Especially-
storyteller, yeah, exactly. We're all
Yeah.
storytellers, yeah.
We had a module.
What's your favourite film?
The Last of the Mohicans. There's one here I have tattooed on my arm.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Hmm.
The only actor in history who's won 3 Oscars for Best Actor, and Madeleine Stowe. And it's set in 1757 when the British and the French are trying to colonize. I can't say the word. Colonize.
Yeah.
Is it colonize America? So actually, you've got a map right here. Actually, in terms of so just the northeast part, and it's kind of like a fight for the continent, and these two meet. 2 opposing characters, 2 different sides. He's part of a tribe of natives who adopt him when he's a kid, and she is the daughter of one of the colonels. And then, a long story short, it's like an action chase movie, but it's very romantic. It's my favourite film. It's my favourite soundtrack to a film. It's beautiful. If you listen to if I played a couple of tracks, you might even recognise some of the themes. But it meant that much to me that I had it tattooed on my arm. So it was a film I was introduced to by my dad when I was young. So he always used to say like, and he was never a film like nerd or anything like me, but he would say, you know, Kev, I think maybe you should watch this
These
film.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember sitting down and watching it with him, and it's just one of those experiences, and it just changes everything. So that's my favourite film. Yeah, my favourite film.
Love that. That's why I love this series. I love seeing like our lecturers speak with such passion about things. I love it. So that was a great question. That was unprompted.
Well, there you go. Great answer.
Yes, it was. So our next question technically is, what did you do before you became a lecturer, like in terms of jobs?
Okay.
Like in terms of your career path, how did that go for you?
Oh right, we could be here all day.
Go on.
I'm a jack of all trades. I think I've done it all really. Spent a lot of time in retail. I've done office work. I've done sales. I've done insurance. I've done call centres. I've done like a whole plethora of different roles before education.
Yeah.
Most of the time spent in retail, and that's where I get my fondness to work with people.
Yeah.
I believe I'm quite the people person, and I would love. I always used to love interacting with people from all different walks of life, in all different scenarios, whatever those scenarios may be, good, bad, challenging, whatever. So that's kind of where I started, like I suppose, in a working career. Yeah, many years before where I am right now. So, yeah. Oh, and a cleaner. I've been a cleaner as well.
Right.
So when I was at university, I had, by the 3rd year, I had 4 jobs. I worked in retail. I was a cleaner. I was in sales, and I worked in the film industry.
Right, so you did work in the film industry as well.
So, yeah, so I mean, so whether that was maybe doing a bit of background work or mostly doing like
Running?
Yeah, like a production assistant, that sort of thing. Yeah, making cups of tea for famous actors and stuff like that. So, but
Did
yeah.
you meet famous people?
Oh yeah. I've met loads of famous people.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. One of the just really quickly though, one of
Yeah, go
the
on.
best ones. The best interactions I ever had with someone was Ewan McGregor. He was just lovely, absolutely lovely, and he didn't make like a big song and dance of like his presence. He just kind of walked in, was like, "Good morning," and I almost brushed him off at first. I was like, "Yeah, all right there, mate. How you doing?" And I turned around, I was like, "God, it's Renton from like Trainspotting, or it's Obi-Wan Kenobi," and it's but he was lovely. Yeah, he was nice.
Which one was your favourite job?
Which one's my favourite job?
Yeah.
But all of those jobs.
Yeah.
I would say retail. I worked at a brand, a company in Gunwharf, who funny enough just come back, and I worked there, and I was there for about 7 years, and it wasn't in what it became. What it started was a job, a part-time job.
Yeah.
On the side of uni and stuff like that, and then it just became hanging out with your mates because we became such a close-knit family. So I've got this right here. It's right in my eye line with you, Dan. If I move that up, it's right in your eye line, isn't it?
No,
There
it's
we go.
fine. That's
Right.
fine. I don't mind
Okay.
it.
Yeah, and it just ended up being that we became such a close-knit family. It was just like going in and hanging out with your mates. You know, we used to do like really nice things,
That's
like
always-
birthdays and stuff for each
Yeah.
other, and yeah, and just like working with customers, and you'd always have a different challenge every day. So you had your own responsibilities. I would probably say that's today. That's still my favourite experience of working in everything that I've ever done,
Yeah.
because the culture, which I believe is key anywhere, the culture was
Yes.
so positive. Anytime one person went down, we'd all pick each other back up, you know, and it was brilliant. Just have a good old giggle and.
Oh, that's so nice. It's so
It was
nice
really
when
nice.
it's like that. It's so nice when you work in an environment where like your co-workers are not just the people. Obviously, you see them every day, so they are a part of your life, whether you want them to be or not. But it's so nice when they become a nice part of your life, and it's not just I have to see you again.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we don't. I suppose most of us don't really keep in contact anymore because we went off and did our own thing. But at that brief
Yeah.
moment in time when we all came together, it was such a wonderful time. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and going in and working 9, 10, 12 hours, whatever it was, just never felt like a chore. You know.
Which is always nice. It's so good when you go to work with energy, and you come back without being like completely drained out of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. And also it was good because it was one of those jobs which, as soon as you crossed that threshold at the end of the day, you were done. That was it.
Yeah, so you don't take home
A role like I have
the job
now
with you. Yeah.
doesn't necessarily warrant
Yeah.
that, good or bad.
We can imagine.
It's quite like my job back at home. Everyone's like, it's quite a big store, but like everyone's friendly. Everyone knows everybody. Half of them are related to one another.
It's cool though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is, because I mean, like here, it's very different from a working perspective, because the faculty is. We have so many faculties. In the faculties, you have so many departments and schools, and it's so kind of fragmented like that. Yes, it is more challenging to try and instill that kind of culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be done, but it's I suppose it's not the same experience that I had
Yeah.
when I was working in Gunwharf, and we were getting free stuff from people all the time.
Yeah, we have. I have a similar experience with my current job. Like we just all communicate well in a way, and it's a nice experience. If you have a problem, you can sort of not necessarily that I do, but if I wanted to, I could.
You can
go.
express yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we often share like opinions, and we have sort of not debates, but like throughout the day when it's not busy, we have interesting topics of discussion that we discuss and debate, and we often have very common views, and it's nice to see that. It's nice to see that we all sort of have aligned views.
And get along as well.
Yeah, we do. See, you've had a lot of jobs, and you've studied filmmaking. You've met actors. How did you get into marketing?
How did I get into marketing?
Yes. How did that come about?
I suppose that came. So I've worked across 3 different colleges, in FE, but prior to this role in
Yeah.
HE, the second role I had in a local college was working with the teaching and learning team, but also it was aligned with the marketing team as well.
Yeah.
So my role there started with embracing all of the creative aspects of of my skill set and capabilities from before, and helping to improve teaching and learning resources. And whether we use green screen or we use cameras, we did podcasts, whatever we did, it started off like with that, and then aligning that with marketing to then share that experience on a more sort of global scale, as it were, like conferences, etc. But also to help with like outreach and potentially recruiting new students and stuff. So I suppose that's where it really started. Yeah, and then here we are. But yeah, I suppose then it kind of just snowballed from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you ever work in like a marketing office or anything like that?
No.
No.
I was in the marketing office.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yes.
So I suppose you could say yes. Technically, yes. But no, I'm not a marketeer like you guys. I just kind of ended up liaising and working with them. And then the same when I moved on to the next college, I had a more responsible role, and therefore that was definitely in collaboration with the marketing department.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you start to develop.
Yeah.
Or things like that. Marketing from I suppose an educational perspective.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
not too
really
bad.
cool.
It's not too bad.
Do you wanna?
Yeah, so I guess from there, how did you get into like teaching and like lecturing, and then like to where you are now, kind of thing?
The story goes. There's always a story. The story goes, I was working in Gunwharf at the time, and I hit a plateau. So there was nowhere else to kind of go. And in terms of like promotion or anything like that, or job prospects or anything like that. So at the time, I was sharing a house with an old friend, and he was a teaching assistant. His missus was a teacher, and her friend was a teacher as well. Her friend would end up being the mother of my child. And we were just kind of sitting there watching the football one day, and I don't even know how it came about. They just said, "Oh, do you ever think about maybe a career in teaching?" I said, "Not really." They just, "Well, you've got these qualities here and here. It may be worth exploring."
Yeah.
And then you've seen the movie Inception, haven't you? So linking it back to movies. You seen the movie Inception with DiCaprio?
I think so.
You think so?
I don't remember. I think we might watch it in college, but I don't remember.
Right, make sure you watch it. It's a good film. You'll like it. But in terms of the planting of the seed, that analogy is where I'm trying to go with that. Yeah. So you'll get it when you go and watch it again. You go, oh no, he's talking about now. Yeah. So that seed was planted, and then I was just really, really curious, and then with that, I looked into it and decided that's where I would go, and I signed up for teacher training at Highbury College, and I did that part-time for, how long did it take me? I think it was a 2-year course, but it took me 3.5, because during that I broke my collarbone, and I had to defer for a while.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I've got some funny lump here. This shoulder is now shorter than this one. It's not that I'm strutting, it's just like, it's just my body. So I did the teacher training on the side. I did it in the evenings, and then with teacher training you have to acquire a certain amount. Let's put these up here. That's better. You have to acquire a certain amount of teaching hours. So I contacted my old course leaders from the uni and asked if I could do it there within the film department.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really want to do it in a secondary school, and I didn't really want to do it in a college. I knew that's where I wanted to do it, and they were on board, and one of them took me under their wing as a mentor. He's still here, and I acquired all those hours, fulfilled everything that I needed to do, passed the course, got the qualified teacher status, and then started applying for jobs. And I started off as a course leader, lecturer at Fareham College, teaching photography and moving image.
Oh, wow.
That's it. Had our own little dark room and everything, so we did photo
that's
processing.
cool.
Yeah. It was great. Had the best classroom view of the college. Overlooked the courtyard. Yeah, and that was it. And then that was that there. And then I moved on to South Downs College with that previous role I mentioned. And I moved on to another college, in which I was a digital education manager. So I oversaw their digital learning strategies. I led their digital learning teams. I led their library resources teams across 2 campuses. And then one day, a good friend of mine, Liz Ford, as you know, gave me a shout and said, there's a role that's come up at the university. It could be a good fit for you. So I looked at it and I applied, and I always wanted wanted to work here, and after 36 attempts, I applied and I was successful, and here I am, so
Never
3
give
years
up.
Yeah,
Never
exactly.
give up. If you want something, just keep on going for it. And eventually, after 36 attempts, you get it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And 36 attempts, not just teaching roles. I mean, there was a number of different roles I applied for over the years. And funny enough, I only ever sort of got a few interviews here.
Yeah.
And I always remember getting one interview, and I was just thinking, why on earth am I here? It might have been one of those times where, I don't know if you guys have done it, you kind of, when you're applying for jobs, you'll just apply for anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially with quick apply on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So, done. So I applied for this job and I got called in. I was like, okay. And then I sat there and there was, a room not much bigger than this, and there was probably 2 or 3 of them. And they're asking all these questions. I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? Sort of my mind's racing 1,000 miles per hour. How on earth am I going to
get this job?
or answer this question? Let alone get the job. Yeah. So that's kind of my journey to how I got here, and I've been here for 3 years now. Yeah.
Only 3?
Yeah, it's March
27.
Yeah, so I think it was 3 years.
It is 27
about 10 days ago. Yeah.
Wow. I did not expect that. I thought you would have been here for much, much longer. I don't know why.
No, I started about this time 3 years ago on the back end of an academic year, so right where we are now. And this is my 3rd academic year.
That's really nice.
Yeah, module coordinator now.
So. You've mentioned actually quite a few jobs and projects that you've been part of. We want to know which one's been your favourite. Throughout all of them, you can pick and choose a couple. You can throughout your whole career, which ones have been your favourite projects you've worked on so far? Teaching, not teaching, whichever ones you want.
Oh.
You can have some time to think. We still have time. We're good
How
on
long
time
we've got? You've got 37 seconds.
No, we're really good on time, so you can think.
If I was to think recent, I think what we did with digital storytelling in your 2nd year, I've always thought was I liked that project because it's an authentic assessment with a focus on helping drive a real positive change in this world.
Yeah, that's true.
So to help a charity combat single-use plastic, and it's something that affects all of us. I mean, we're looking at this map here.
Yeah.
It affects all of us, and that was one over the last couple of years. I felt proud to be able to sort of coordinate and then see you guys go through it and the work you created, and the impact it has on you guys. So I'd probably say recently that's probably one of them. Another one, I suppose, would just being involved in educational projects where you're driving digital transformation for the right reasons, so it has a good impact on the learners.
Yeah, that's actually something I've always been curious about. If teachers or lecturers or professors actually feel like they have an impact on students' lives. Because to me, as a student, I can name at least 3 or 4 people that have taught me that I definitely felt had a certain impact on my life and either changed some views or gave me the right advice at the right time, or just was there to listen to whatever I had to say and sort of reassure me that you're fine. And
I don't know if I couldn't say for sure, you know, if I have. I hope, because all I ever do is try. So I'd like to believe sometimes that, I suppose the closest, or one time that I have recognised that I have had an impact, like a positive impact, was I supervise dissertation students as well.
Mm-hmm.
So each year I have probably about 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to your dissertations, there is an acknowledgement section.
Yeah.
So I think it's a few pages in. You don't have to write anything. Most will write something along the lines of, I want to thank my friends and I want to thank my family for their support, etc., etc. Last year, however, probably more than half of those dissertation students specifically named me in their dissertations. And dissertations get filed and therefore, could be used for future research by other people. So other people will see it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those times where you're kind of flicking through the digital pages as you're scrolling, and you get to that page and you're like, I nearly swore then. And you're like, oh, sugar, and it's like, they've actually named me. Like, I must have done something right.
Yeah.
And to receive that kind of recognition and praise from someone that you've been trying to guide and support as best as you can, is really rewarding in itself. It really is. And then it just, it lightens you, it makes you feel happy, it brings a smile to your face. So, yeah.
Because I guess in a way it's also reassuring that, your hard work as well, and like the sort of amount of effort you've put into actually trying to help them was recognised, and it didn't go to waste in any way. Like, they've felt your help.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not a person. I don't expect praise. I don't really want praise. I don't like the spotlight being on me. But it's just nice when every now and again you get that pat on the back, or someone sort of says thank you very much. And I do sort of keep in check with some of our alumni now on like LinkedIn. I'll drop them a message. Just how's it going? See you're doing really well. Very proud of you. That sort of thing. And I hope that kind of helps, and and they all respond. Some a bit more than others, and it's understandable. But they always do sort of recognise it, which is cool. Yeah, which is nice. Yeah.
That's very nice. That one we kind of covered. But do you want to ask it? Okay, it might be a different answer. Might be different.
What would you say is your favourite module or like topic to teach?
Interesting, because I suppose as you guys have both been with me for the creative modules, I suppose knee-jerk reaction would say creative modules. I think what I really enjoy, other than that, is the development of professional skills of students, which with my curriculum design, I have what's referred to as a hidden curriculum. So though I may have taught you content creation and how to do certain things, it's underpinned a lot by other things which I recognise that you all need to have when you graduate and go into industry, based on my professional experience. But also anything that I recognise in you as individuals. So if we take you two, for instance, when we first met, your cohort was pretty quiet. And it was very challenging from an educator's perspective. So I'm not suggesting that there are any out there, but I mean, I suppose for me, I want to get to that root cause. I want to find out why you're quiet, and then what can I do to loosen you up. So Dan, for instance, so we'd have lectures, and I would regularly, maybe often, ask for your response, because I could see there was something ticking in your head, especially in the seminars. I can think back now several times. I'd say to you, Dan, there's something tickling in your head. but there was kind of a reluctance to be able to say anything for the first part.
Yeah.
And Mira, you were the same, but you were very, very quiet.
Yes.
However, there was an inquisitiveness in you oozing to get out, yeah, and there was a strength in you which was being held back by something, and both of them I recognise was some kind of fear of possibly what other people may think, but also a lack of confidence. So for me, in terms of that hidden curriculum, it's like, right, okay, so I've got all this in my module, but at certain points I've got to stretch them, and I've got to challenge them, I've got to inspire them, I've got to push them, and that might be specifically saying in a lecture in front of 80 people, Dan, what do you think? What is your thoughts? No wrong or right, but what is your opinion? How are we looking at this piece of work?
Yeah.
You know, what's the critical analysis of it, etc., etc. If anything, just to get you talking in front of other people to build the confidence. With you, Mira, it was getting you up in front of the classroom.
Yes.
That we did in Introduction to Digital Marketing.
Yes.
From week 1.
Every single week.
Yep. But you weren't the only one. There were others, you know.
Yeah.
And there is like a real lack of confidence amongst younger people, which fascinates me, considering the world of social media and stuff.
But you know what? Your presentations are technically the reason why, at the beginning of this year, I could stand in front of a room of over 50 people and talk about the Marketing Society with a little speech prepared. I wasn't even the president yet. I was shaking, but I knew I could do it. And I did it. And technically I felt like I already had the responsibilities of the role, and I had to do it, and I did it. And then from then on, presentations came about as if I was talking to a group of people I knew.
And that's why I'm really proud of you, because I remember early conversations with you. I remember you saying, this is where you would like to be.
Yes.
Post HE. You know, this is where I want to be. And in those conversations, and the way you present yourself in those conversations, again, very shy. There's me just assessing. I'm like, okay, I know what she wants to do. What can I do now to help her with that? So then it's trying to then implement that into the sessions, but building up slowly. Some people you can just push in the deep end.
Yeah, and
some people just take a little bit more time. Yeah. And that's a real balance in the class, and with your class in particular, when we used to do those presentations, you know, there was some who were really reluctant to get up. So it took a different conversation, as it would be, you know, like, Dan, would you like to get up?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
So,
like, you being and stuff in the lectures, that would have been my biggest nightmare ever, because although I might have had the answer in my head, would have gone blank. Because I have to sometimes translate words in my head as well. And in a lecture, and now I don't mind. Now I talk because I feel bad for the teachers not getting a response from anyone. But in year 1, when I didn't really know that many people, and now I don't really care if I know them. But then that was the barrier. And I was like, don't ask me. Please don't ask me. Because if you're going to ask me, I'm going to say the stupidest thing, or something that relates to nothing that you've spoken about so far, or that just about relates. You're going to think I didn't listen. I was listening. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. I just can't do it. I can now.
I think for my approach, it's not just assessing what you know.
Yes.
It's to get you talking.
Yeah.
Again, so like, you know, breaking down those barriers, like I've been doing with our first years this year, is you just got to remember that there is no small, stupid or silly question.
Yeah.
Any question is valid, and don't worry. It's what I always say to my son as well. Don't ever worry about what other people are thinking until they say something. Then you've got to then you obviously address whatever it's being said. So why does it matter what other people are thinking?
Yes, exactly.
And then also, despite your response, it could just, and most probably will, help the person next to you or that side of the room. Because even if you got the answer wrong, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we need to learn what it is to fail. We need to because you know you're here to learn. If you came here and you knew everything, I'd be out of a job. You know, so but whatever you say, even just having a go, could inspire the person next to you.
Yeah.
She gave it a go. She got it wrong. The answer was then provided. Now she knows. But it's just that confidence. Oh, actually, do you know what? This is a safe environment, as promoted. Doesn't matter if I put my hand up and go, oh, is it blue? No, it's red.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's breaking down all of those barriers.
Because that's how, like, if, for example, if you were to pick up on Dan in a seminar, we were in the same seminar, guys, in the first year for this module that we're on about, or in a lecture, or like anyone else, and they gave an answer, I'd probably better understand through their answer. Yeah. Even if it was wrong and you were like to explain it after, I wouldn't think to myself then, oh, that person got it wrong. I don't care. No, I don't think anyone actually actively cares, because if they do, they have too much free time on their hands to think about stuff like that too deeply, you know. But so it's
thinking,
like,
but that's thinking anyway.
Yeah.
What does it matter? What does it matter if you know, Dan asks me a question in front of 100 people, I put my hand up, I get it wrong, and you think, oh, he got it wrong.
Yeah, like I never know. Yeah. I never know what someone else is thinking, so yeah, exactly.
It's not going to make any difference,
and that's what I say to people always. Stop trying to find validation from invalid people. It doesn't matter. It matters if you're doing stuff without hurting anyone and without a bad intention in mind. If you're doing things that make you happy without doing those things to hurt others, it does not matter. It does not matter what other people think, because it's not their life at the end of the day.
No, and you're all here to learn, and you know we learn from you as well. So we're all learning together.
Yeah.
You know, and at some point you are going to go into industry. You will go into a workplace, and you will most probably not know anyone.
Oh yeah.
And therefore, if I say recognise that there is a confidence barrier from day one, and you're saying, I wouldn't mind going into podcasting or doing this or doing that, and I'm thinking, actually, well, there's no way that's going to happen right now.
Yeah.
But if we can work together, if we can build those steps and those pathways, they will be able to achieve that. And then when they do go into that workplace, they can walk in with their head high, confident.
Yeah.
Be part of a team and crack on, rather than full of worry and fear, you know, of what people are thinking. And it's a funny world we live in, isn't it? I mean, again, as if you look at a large part of social media is people get high on what other people think or say or press the like button, but you put that in another context, like an educational context or even a workplace context, it completely flips.
Yes.
Really does.
And it's really stupid how some people feel like sometimes social media can be a safer space than the real world, just because of the sort of social barriers sometimes they might implement themselves. Sometimes it can be there. It might not be a safe environment. You might not feel like you want to speak and no one's making you. But in general, if you take uni, you kind of have to get over those things. And I say that, you've heard it. You've heard how I was in year one. Like, there's no, like, nothing to hide about it. I was very shy, and I am shy at the beginning in general in new contexts, but not anymore. Because there's no reason to be.
It's a massive thing, you know, whether you live down the road or you've travelled from halfway around the world here, or over here, coming to a new place, a new city, you know, where maybe it's not your first language.
Yeah.
You know, it's a massive change. But there was something in you that said, that is scary as shit. That is. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You can say that.
It's that scary. That level of scary. However, you have made that step out your front door. You've travelled. Probably got on a plane.
Oh yeah.
Come here. Do you know what I mean? So, in terms of that fear, there's something that excites you about doing it.
Actually, yes. Now that I think about it, because when it first happened, I was 11. Not even 11 yet. So when I first moved here and I had to start school, the amount of times I cried in a year. I think I wasted like 2 years worth of tears in one year. Like, I'm not even kidding. I wish I was. But it was scary, and I was literally this little child being surrounded by people that speak a completely different language that I don't really understand. I could pick up some words, but y'all have an accent. I am sorry, I have nothing against the English accent when I hear it in TV shows.
We have many an accent around these aisles.
When it's the real world, when it's the real world, you can't understand water from water. Like you can't figure out it's the same thing. So it was interesting. I can say that. But if I think about it now, and if I think about maybe in like 2 years, once I know like how to do my job and I get given the opportunities, or even in a year, to move to another country for like a month to work there remotely and in an office, I would take it in a heartbeat just because I like traveling and I know I can do it. And it's not necessarily the basis of you have to learn the language, otherwise you can't really get around. I'd get paid to be there. I do my job in English most likely. I might discover the culture around me and the world around me in that place. But it wouldn't be as scary anymore. It'd be exciting, just like you said.
Yeah, and you know, it's being scared makes us feel alive. You know, why do people go on really fast roller coasters? Why do people jump out of planes? You know, it's you know, it is coming really in full force of that fear. So I believe that everyone who's made a decision to come to uni, for whatever that reason is, there is a part of them that wants that fear factor. Yeah. There's a part of them that wants to try and overcome that. Now, I mean, it's very there's a real disparity, I suppose, in terms of that line of students. Like if you were to go from the students who again come here absolutely committed, work well for the education because they want to have a good life, whatever good the good life looks like for them, but they want a good life, to those who sort of come here, they have it, but for whatever reason they decide that they don't want to engage. And then there's kind of everything
in between.
Yeah. More or less. But I suppose kind of like reading back, you know, I always try to instill a safe environment, and I like to try and push students because I think you guys will just miss out. I think it's a disservice. Do you know what I mean? It's disservice. Like I remember you and I having a conversation, and we were in Richmond open access area. Yeah. Very early on.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And we were sat there, and
I was freaking out.
You were freaking out.
I was freaking out.
And I think if I didn't do something, whatever it is I've done, if I did nothing, we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. And it would be a complete disservice to you. Yeah. Because to see how you've grown, to see how both of you've grown, it comes with great pride. Yeah. And you guys are towards the end of your second year. I can't wait to see where you are this time next year.
In America,
Are you going to America? Are you?
Yeah.
Well, you'll be in America. Yeah, well, there you go. That's it. Yeah. But I think it is. And that's just how I operate. Do you know what I mean? So.
So to give you a bit of context, I was freaking out because I really wanted to be at university. I really liked what we were doing at university and everything. I knew I wanted to do content creation. I just saw what that entailed, and it freaked me out. I was like, that's not for me. I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to do. I want to, but I can't do that. And I sat down with Kevin. I was like, look, I know I can do well. I just don't know how to get there because I'm genuinely freaking out. I don't think I'm going to pass this module. I passed. I passed. Hi. The first assessment, we don't talk about the second one. But the first assessment, I passed it high, and I was like, I thought I was going to fail altogether.
Well, you didn't, did you?
And I didn't. So, yeah, there you go. There you go, you guys. Believe in yourselves in the end. It's going to work out. Take it back on track. Do you care to?
Yeah, sure.
It's that one if you want to take them in order.
So kind of branching off that, obviously, I know you work a lot on modules and stuff. You do quite a lot. How do you deal with such a busy schedule, would you say?
You already know the answer to this.
Oh yeah. I was expecting this.
What is the answer to this?
It's a project management sheet.
It's project management, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's organising your time. So I mentioned sometime before, probably about 20 minutes ago or so, about those skills that you need to have when you graduate. And you go
yes.
being able to organise your time, to time manage, to prioritise, to project manage is crucial, you know. And we do it in all aspects of our lives, whether you have a birthday party coming up, or your boyfriend's sister's getting married or something. Do you know what I mean? Or you're going to go on holiday. There's always some form of time organisation and management. That's how I do it. So when I created that project management tool some years ago, it was really born out of discovering that some students were finding it extremely challenging to keep on top of their work, and then through discussions and investigation was the root issue was they didn't know how to do it. They'd never done anything like that before, for whatever that reason may be. So having conversations with them, saying, okay, look, this is what I'm going to implement, however I'd like some feedback, and it was just born out of that. So then when you guys came in, you were the first cohort where you had it from day one. So previously I think it came in on the cohort before you, but their second assessment, or maybe halfway through the year. You guys have had it since day one, and you use it exceptionally well because you've even presented it, you know, in some of the content creation classes this year. So, and because of that, then I ended up creating my own version, which then I keep on top of in terms of all my assessments, all my marking, everything I need to do. But I think just keeping yourself organised, however you may do that, whether you use the tool that I've created or you manipulate it like you have very well, or you find another app. If I think of like Emily, for instance, in your cohort, switched to an app called Trello, which is fantastic, and use that really well. I showed someone that you could use Padlet for that. They use Padlet. So, you know, some go off and use their own and find their own way of doing it. But that's fine because it's transferable. It's just being able to just keep on top of your work and not drown in it. You know, because you need to be kind to yourself, you know, and it's just if not, you burn out. And I have burnt out. You know, I burnt out about 3 times last semester, and it's not good.
So have we. Not in the last semester, but it's been me one
This
time
semester.
and then him this semester. It's been interesting.
But
We know where you're getting from.
But sometimes that is because we've fallen out of a line with our organisation. I'm a very routine person, so if something kind of disrupts that, it can have a real domino effect. And if I say to myself, right, you're going to work on designing that resource for that module ready for, I don't know, next week or 2 weeks' time, and something happens there, it has a knock-on effect. And though I may have to try and fit it in somewhere else, if it doesn't fit in that week, you know, that's when it can be really disruptive.
Takes it off tracks,
So that's how I do it. And I use a plethora of things. I use like the Google Sheets tool. I may use my Notes app, my Reminders app on my iPhone, those sort of things, you know, or Google Tasks, or again, it's just that there is an app for everything and an app for everyone, and there's a tool for everyone that does something similar. But whatever works for you. Really.
Yeah, we talked about this before. They know. We've probably bored them about time management. They know. I said about my Notes app and listing everything out and sort of putting them into priority order. Dan's talked about his ways of organising, whether that's through the management or the Google Calendar. I know you mentioned. So it's just
using the calendar. If I'm in the kitchen at home and something just comes to me, making a coffee. You know what I'm like. I've got a memory like a sieve. You know, if I have to write stuff down, so I might raid the recycling bin. You know, just grab something, a bit of cardboard, a bit of paper, and I have to write it down. And then it's just there. And then either I digitise that or I take that. And that's another task for the day. But either way, it's just kind of recording it, prioritising it, as you say, and and give yourself realistic deadlines. Not I've got to do everything like right now. You know, just spread it out.
It feels like that sometimes, but you do have to spread it out because otherwise you end up doing nothing and you're very disappointed, and then the next day you don't want to do it anymore because it didn't work out, and then it moves back another week.
But what's the lesson learned then?
That you have to prioritise things and stop thinking, you know, you're a robot when you're a human. So you guys, stop freaking out. We've been there, we've done that.
Quickly put the post
Oh,
up for.
yes. I'll just go through the next question. This one is actually very, it's going to make you think, probably, because it's an interesting question, and I like this one. But basically, what are the 3 most valuable lessons you have learned throughout your career?
Throughout my career?
Yes. Or life, or it's whatever perspective you want to take on it. But 3 most valuable lessons that you would say, like, are the things that you sort of always either keep in the back of your mind or they pop up throughout and you get reminders, you know.
Right. Number 1, I would say, is be honest to yourself and be honest with others. Don't be afraid to say no. Not everybody's going to like that, but I would rather someone say no to me with a reason rather than tiptoe around the issue and then that gets repressed or bottled up and it might come out negative in other ways. If I was to say to you, for the social media team, right, Miruna, I need you to do a podcast without Dan and I need you to do it on this thing and I need it next week. If you didn't say no to me, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
I'd be expecting a no. And I think...
Sorry, I just like challenges. But then if I was to deepen it and then think about it, then I don't know how to edit. I'd have to learn how to edit. I'd have to do just a podcast that week without like my assignments and anything else. I'd only have to focus on that. That's unrealistic. I'd fall behind. So
so possibly, But initially, you may think no, and I'd rather you say no.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to be able to say no to people. Again, like, not everybody likes that, but that's their problem, not your problem. I always remember when I went for my role at Southtowns, a good friend of mine who hired me, works here now, actually, funny enough.
All right.
And I remember one of his questions was, what did he say? It was, if I asked you to do this by this time and then something came up and I needed you to then do it immediately and you had to stop doing everything that you've done here and you had to do this, despite however you think about it, would you say no to me? And I said, yes, I would say no. And he was like, oh. He said, and why is that? And I gave a rationale as to why. You know, I really sort of bullshit it. You know, and the sales technique of me came in. But I was very honest with him. And I remember like once when they offered me the role, and I remember the feedback that I asked for once I got the role. I remember we were just sitting down having a cup of tea or something like that, and he said one of the things that we really recognised was you were the only one out of however many of those. You were the only one who said no.
Yeah.
Everybody else said yes.
Yeah.
So I think, being honest to yourself and to others is definitely a real lesson that I've learned in my
Do
life.
you have 2 more, or is it just the 1?
Two more.
If not, we can just leave it at that.
No, do you know what's going to bug me? Because I was actually thinking about these questions even this morning whilst having breakfast.
He was preparing.
Well, because I looked through the questions and I thought they were all really interesting and intriguing, and that one really stuck out for me. And I thought, okay, that would be
that one's my favourite.
So, what was the question again, please?
So, what are the 3 most valuable lessons you have learned throughout your career or life? We'll just put it like that. Like, it depends on which take you want to.
So, kind of what I mentioned with the time management when we were talking about that a minute ago is be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't overexert yourself. And yes, I've been guilty of that on many occasions in this role, and it really has cost me. But it's most certainly a lesson that I've taken forward. I reckon that's about 7. On the video come up.
Yes.
7. To be kind to yourself and set your own expectations.
All good.
Yeah, what's up?
And and take time to breathe and step back and take a breath, and you don't have to go at it 100 miles an hour. And just because someone says, "Oh, we desperately need this by tomorrow," doesn't mean that you have to burst a blood vessel and get no sleep and don't eat or anything like that. There are ways of managing that, and again, being able to say either no or just negotiate. Okay,
Yeah.
you're saying it's got to be done by 9, but is there any chance we could? Does it have to be done by 9? Could it be by 11? I can most certainly achieve that by 11. Is there a wriggle room?
Yeah.
In terms of the third one, it may come back to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I guess our final main question
Yes.
would be, what piece of advice would you give to your current students?
Which ones? So bear in mind, I've got level 4. I
Any
had level
student.
5.
Students in
level 6
general.
to 7.
Yeah.
To your students in general.
Students in general.
Yeah.
Oh. So that's challenging because.
If you want to take it by years, by all means.
Okay. I would say level 4. Pay attention. Ask questions. Be inquisitive. Learn to problem solve.
Yeah.
Level 5.
Mm-hmm.
You take that. Keep pushing forward. No matter how tough it gets. Keep pushing forward. Stay curious. Embed everything that you've learned from the first year into the second year. Be ready for the third year. Yeah. And then the final year, so especially because this year is my tutees, and then I have dissertation students. Don't give up.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Just don't. Whatever happens, don't give up. It's like I haven't run a marathon, but I've run long competitions before, and I know what it's like to get to that point. Not necessarily the wall, but I know what it's like to get to a point where I just want to give up.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so many times. And as a people person, that's where I really step in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'll have these, I've had some conversations last few weeks with some of my dissertation guys and some of my other tutees who are in the same sort of boat, and it's just like, don't give up. You're the finish line is there. You can see it, but you've just got to keep that endurance going. And for every hurdle that comes up, you need to leap across it. So you've got to keep going. But that said, especially in that year, you really have to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I've had it all, like, oh, you sound like my mum. It's like, hydrate. I think I've even said this to you guys. Make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're eating, make sure you're sleeping, make sure you're doing some form of exercise, and make sure you are doing something that means something to you. Whether it's down the pub socially, cinema, whatever it is, whatever it is that you love doing, make sure you are making time for that. That's all your time management comes into it as well.
Yeah.
And I think for all students, enjoy it, because it doesn't last that long.
Yeah, that's true. I think we were talking about this recently. I can't remember.
And recognise why you're here. If you don't know why you're here, then I would absolutely suggest having a conversation with your personal tutor, because maybe university's not for you.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. It takes a lot of strength and courage to acknowledge that. I've only recently, in the last week, realised there's some in your cohort are no longer with us.
Yeah.
And I just hope that they took that moment to go, right, it's just not for me. And I'm going to talk to the right people, and I'll talk to my family, I'll talk to my friends, and maybe, I don't know, an apprenticeship or something else.
Yeah.
So recognising why you're here is absolutely key. Because if not, especially in the first year, because if not, you're going to go through 3 years of misery. Whereas if you can recognise, even if it's, I want to have a good life, or, I want to work in marketing, or I want to meet new people, I want to improve my confidence, whatever it is, as long as you've got some sort of a vision to follow, then you'll enjoy it, and you'll push yourself. But if not, be true to yourself, be honest to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Those were our questions that we have had prepared for you. Is there anything else you would like to talk about, add, tell them about, anything at all?
Like an interview, isn't it?
I
I've
mean,
got questions for you now.
go on, by all means, if you have questions.
How are you finding this, Dan, your podcast? Because, like I say, if I go back to recognise. So they're talking about recognising students, and I recognised, the potential in both of you. When it came to our social media team, and the idea was put forward for a possible podcast, you leapt at the chance, and at the time, there wasn't a co-host, was there? Until you turned up. You barged into a meeting. Not in a horrible way, but
I did.
No. You asked, and I said it'd be more than happy to have you there, and you did. You came in. You wanted to talk about your role in the marketing society, and then I think you caught wind of the podcast, and then straight away it was an email. I'll do it.
Yeah.
And again, just to see how you guys have grown in how you've taken an idea, and then you've run with it, and you've made it your own thing. And its own identity, and to see every time you produce an episode, like how much it means to you, the work you put into it is inspiring. And even when you sent across, so they sent a proposal across recently, and it was a proposal to improve this podcast and its social presence, and they didn't have to do it this way. But you chose to do it the way you did it, and they did it very professionally.
I will give Dan credits for that, because he had to put it together mainly, and then I added my thoughts. And it was his initial idea, and then he discussed it with me. I can't take credit for how professionally it looked, because it didn't come from me, altogether. My ideas were my ideas, but I just had to throw that in there.
But it was packaged. Do you know what I mean? You both put, despite one doing maybe more than the other, you both had your name on it, and it was both something that you've taken by the lead, and you proposed it, and it was something that I hadn't thought about, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of just I've been what do you call it, micromanaged many times. It doesn't work. It doesn't work anywhere. In my opinion, it doesn't work. I think if you want the best of someone or people, if you want people to thrive and grow and take risks, and be very, be imaginative, allow them even a certain amount of freedom.
Yeah.
And with you guys, because I've worked with you guys for the last year and a half, nearly 2 years now, I read that proposal and I was so impressed with it. I was like, yeah, but they've just nailed it, haven't they? They thought of something completely different, and it's, why would I hold that back? So you've taken something, and you got to remember, this is going to be your legacy.
Yeah.
Because this never existed before. So when that time comes and you pass it on, and I hope you're still involved in some way, but if it's a case of passing it on to the next gen, this is all you. This is what you guys have grown into and established, and it's having such an impact amongst the uni, especially the faculty. It's just, I can say with wholeheartedly, I'm just absolutely proud of you both.
Thank you.
To do this, and you love it. I can tell, even the look on your faces now. I can tell that you really do. And even at the beginning, and I sort of, I challenged you guys. I think I said, okay, cool. To get the ball rolling, let's try and have, I don't know, 3 to 5, or maybe a few episodes ready to kind of go, what's the next few episodes? And you came back with, I think, about 5.
Yeah.
You'd already done 5. I think you scripted about 3 of them.
We had the list.
Yeah.
We still have the list. We are almost, I think we went through the list.
We've gone through most of the original ideas, yeah.
Yeah, we finished the original ideas, and then it came this series, and also another one that is still in the process of being arranged.
There you go.
So yeah, do you want to start by answering the question of
what was your original question?
What was the original question? Wait, let me think. How are we finding the podcast, and how is it for us?
I'm really enjoying it. I think at the start, trying to get started, trying to establish it all, trying to figure out what we want to say, kind of thing. It was a bit difficult to break into, but it's become routine, second nature.
sometimes I think we still have like moments where we're like a bit blank, or like it takes a little, like a few minutes for the natural flow to begin, but it doesn't. I don't think there was ever a massive like period of time within an episode, and we still wasn't in the like game in a way.
One thing I really do enjoy is when I'm uploading it is I get to like write what the title's going to be and I put a description in.
And I don't see it until you post it.
So I quite enjoy just trying to come up with an episode title each week that's going to be something worthy of trying to click on.
For me, I just love putting the scripts together in a way. They're not scripted really, but it's just the bullet points of what we have to go through, and then I have to chase people and email people and get the room booking and get the guests in and make sure that everything's like aligned properly and we can do this. One episode we had 2 lecturers booked because I got a bit ambitious, and then Dan was like, no, that can't be done. I've said this before on the podcast, and I've said this to you, I know. Before this whole thing started, at the very beginning of the year, we were talking about this, and then you said you'd keep me updated. You didn't. I barged into the meeting.
Oh, did I not? Oh,
the
sorry.
team was already formed, but it doesn't matter because I love the whole.
Sorry, I apologise.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it because I love the whole like
Memory like a sieve.
journey of the. We talked about this. This got formed. I literally came in through the window because the door was too far away. So I just loved it. I was like, I saw an opportunity. I took it. I still need to learn how to edit, which is a thing that I really want to pursue. It's just my laptop, I need to fix it. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of problems that have happened with that laptop. It has been horrible. I have wanted to throw it out the window many times.
New laptop.
Yes, but it's a good laptop. It's just so full of stuff that I need to delete, and I need to take the time to declutter it, and there's a lot there to unpackage. But other than that, I love the way this is, and I like the idea of a co-host, because I think like if I was to do it by myself, I would not be able to maintain solo episodes as interesting as we can do when we don't have a guest, but we debate something or we talk about something. Just like you said in your solo episode, there's always either the same like idea that we agree on, but we have slightly different views, or we have completely different views, and then we meet in the middle. It's just easier like that, and it's more entertaining even for us, let alone the audience. So it's been great. I think we have reached the point.
End.
A very long end.
A very long end. I don't know how much you're gonna cut from this either. I think this might just be a long episode. But thank you so much for accepting the invite to be a guest on our podcast. It has been a pleasure to have you, and it has been so very interesting to find out about the answers to the questions, essentially. And thank you for giving us this opportunity, because we love it. You can see he's nodding, he's happy. And for you guys, we hope you have an amazing Easter and you enjoy it. Take some time to relax as well. Do your assignments, because we will do that too, as much as we don't want to be reminded. But I've been Miru.
I've been Dan.
And that's been Kev. And we will see you soon, hopefully. See you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.